Join us for the convergence, the letter told you. The same letter that brought you all the way to the south of the Netherlands, before the gates of a castle that should have been forgotten. Hey, Kaseya. As you stand before these gates, a sense of intense familiarity creeps up on you like an unwelcome guest. Ah, fuck, it's Mr. Likely. Let me turn my phone down so we don't get this. Seriously. So many scams Likelies today. As to why it feels familiar, you do not know. For whenever you appeal to your memory, you find nothing but a festering void. What you do remember is that your mother was always there for you. She was the only one left in your life after the car accident, the event that robbed you of your memories and your father of his life. And now, there is only you. You found her lying dead in the kitchen. The medics informed you it was an accident with the stove that led her to choke on the fumes. It was a peaceful death, they very much assured you, but to you, a death nonetheless. And now, with no memory, no family, no purpose, you may as well have died yourself. If it was not for the letter beckoning you to this wayward place, who knows what would have become of you? Do I need to read the letter? Yeah, let me read it. I never read it. Dear cousin, it is with deep sadness in my heart that I inform you of the passing of your grandmother, Eve Poorwatcher. Please join us as we come together to mourn her passing and celebrate her achievements. Should you accept this invitation, I might be able to shed light on the deaths in your family. Some were not accidental. The time is now for you to step up and take your rightful place. The convergence awaits. Yours sincerely, Lisbeth Stahl. What? Here you now stand. Whatever awaits you shall shape your fate forever. Wachter? Whatever. Wachter, same thing. Okay, we're gonna enter. If I walk away, that's probably gonna be the end of the game. As you draw closer to your destination, you begin your walk down the long stone path. The dampened thuds of your footsteps, the only sound you can hear. Now closer to the building, you finally encounter life. People in fresh, crisp uniforms restrained by new fabric. They look up somewhat surprised. Perhaps you have arrived a little too early. Some, however, look at you with a glint of recognition in their eyes. But the most important image is the one you have of yourself, and that is, I'm tough, I can't ever be meddled with. No, I'm pretty much a pushover. I notice, deduce, and know to keep quiet. I'm a charmer, eloquent, and persuasive. What am I? I don't know. I'm thinking. I think I'm not very persuasive. I think I'm just gonna be. I notice, deduce, and know to keep quiet. Yes, I do know when to keep quiet. Don't you start with me. I feel like none of these completely fit me. Totally. You're gonna make me gag. You know what? Don't make me go get a drink. Get a vodka. Yeah, I think I'm a mix of all of these. So I'm just gonna go with the middle one. Hey, this isn't exactly me. This is the game. To the frequent frustrations of your mother, there was never a question you didn't ask. You spot every important detail, repeatedly draw the right conclusions, and invariably have the right piece of information. And most importantly, you now know when it's best to shut up and hide. Wits are a dangerous weapon, and you know how to use them discreetly. Do you agree? Yeah. I'm not Red. Stop it. What, you want me to go back? No, we're doing this. This is fine. The staff continue to observe you with a mix of curiosity and restraint. You return the same knowing look at the members of the staff, thereby acknowledging their existence. The members of the staff react shocked as you attempt to show your good nature, yet not anticipated being noticed. You feel good about your choice. Though it feels like something in the back of your mind is screaming. Your mind soon turns back to reality and you find yourself before the entrance of the castle. You're hit by a sense of abnormality. Perhaps it is due to the mismatch of eons in its architecture, the unevenness of its stone paths, the fading lacquer. Or perhaps it is the rusted ironwork that betrays a glory that once was but never again, and its garden overgrown with hawthorn and thistle. But everything about this place tells you trespassing into a world that is not your own. Regardless, here you now stand. In front of the large doors that guard the entrance of the castle stands a woman, patiently waiting for you to approach her. Or rather, she tries to wait, but impatience strikes her. She speeds up to you and presses her hand into yours. The arrival of the 11th child. Good to see you. It's good to see you again. No, I don't even know this person. Let me introduce myself. I am Lisbeth Stahl, and I will be your guide. Lisbeth, from the letter? That's correct. I'm so very sorry about your mother. My sincere condolences. Well, do I want to get straight to it or just be, I'm just going to say nothing. She nods. You must be tired and famished. I could either help you to your room or provide you with some food. What would you prefer first? You know what? I think I'd just like to see my grandmother. I think so. Upon entering the chapel, you feel like you're not supposed to be here yet. A young man looks up at you perturbed, as if he was previously lost in thought. Lisbeth, however, gestures you to come along with her towards the podium. Oh, boy. Lisbeth and Eve's grandchild. Oh, of course. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you at first. Did we interrupt you? Oh, I had to see it with my own eyes. Now that I've seen it, it feels disappointing. Yes, I do remember my grandmother died. See what? Eve. Well, you know Eve. Well, remind me. Oh, right. You're from those who leave. You're actually here. My name is Ronaldo. Well, no, I wanted to see the body. When you go to a funeral, you want to see the person who's there. So that's why I wanted to see her. I'm what now? From the branch that leaves. Hasn't Lisbeth told you about that yet? All in time. You haven't told Eve's grandchild yet about the 5 families? What about the convergence? Did you say anything about that? Wait. What is all this? You trying to sabotage their contestant? I knew you went low. I just didn't know how you went this low. Well, this is a good moment as any. So, convergence. Convergence is when all our lineages come together and elect a new head of our families. Our families represent the 5 directions humanity has chosen to express itself in: tradition, wealth, creativity, submission, and treachery. Those who lead, those who accrue, those who create, those who serve, and those who lead. It is a perfect system. Ronaldo looks like he just swallowed something nasty but says nothing. Oh my god. Yeah, my alarm bells are going off too. What the heck? What are your positions in this? As you may have heard, I am of those who serve. Ronaldo here is an artist from those who create, and you're the only one allowed to choose from whom to aid, or to choose whom to aid, or even join a different family altogether. I wouldn't recommend it. In fact, I would walk away. happens if I do? You'll be the only one who's free. Well, until next convergence. But I'll forget everything. I see you figured it out, yeah. But I don't know which one of these are. What is this? But some things will become clear after the ceremony. You're keeping things from me again. I don't take any enjoyment from it, if that helps. Well, tell me more about convergence. It's when our families come together to elect a new leader. In practice, it means all us candidates start murdering each other. What? Wait, murder? No one is killing anyone. You should have told Eve about that. My grandmother? Yeah, I think the blue text is an extra option I get from the choice I made in the beginning. She did what was necessary to accomplish her goals. That is all that matters. Tell that to the families of the victims. Because they'll be gunning for her grandchild here. I didn't do anything. It hurts when other people decide your life, doesn't it? You've both been given an opportunity many would move mountains for. Don't waste it. Why do the families need a head? Elizabeth and Ronaldo exchanged looks with one another. That's something we cannot verbalize. Not until the ceremony. I do have issues with that. She has no idea what's coming. It is a perfect system. A moment of uncomfortable silence hangs between them. I think I've asked all of my questions. All of this must be really confusing to you. I'm taking baby steps. Must be frustrating relearning all of this every decade or so. Fortunately, you've got Lisbeth to teach you the ropes. If anyone knows how this all works, it's her. Wait, hold on. If I'm having to relearn this stuff every convergence, and my mother, my father, was it my mother and father? My father died, we got into a car accident, my father died, and I lost my memory? Was that from a convergence? Sorry, Chudah, I'm not gonna wake you up. Very interesting. Thank you for the compliment. I'm not sure if it is, but I am happy you choose to see it this way. An uncomfortable silence lays itself down between them. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone with my thoughts again. Of course. We'll see you at the funeral. Without waiting for your approval, Lisbeth walks towards the stage. Once there, she gestures softly towards the display. To your grandmother. There she lies, right at the end of the hall, in a casket more ornate than functional. Her eyes are slightly open, on her lips remain her last word, and her hands cradle what once was her last ounce of life. Something jabs a thin needle into your memories. Slowly and painfully you come to a realization. You know her, and seeing her lie dead before you, this long-held and deep-seated anxiety in the pit of your stomach begins to subside, laid to rest. I can give you a moment, if you'd like. Who was she? Eve? She was Eve. You were close. Here, look at this. Lisbeth shows you an old photo. The photo shows Eve with a collection of teens. You recognize yourself, and some of the others you've met so far. Eve looks sternly across time and space, right into your soul. That moment, there are only her eyes, forcing Eve's presence into you. This was during last convergence, a decade ago. She took control and never let go until her very last breath. It is awe-inspiring to see how much one can accomplish in only 10 years' time. You notice a twinkle in Lisbeth's eyes. Seems like you two were close. close. I am here to serve. That is all there is to me in my relation to Eve. But you're on a first-name basis? That's not her given name, that's her purpose. All those who lead us are the first of man, Eve and Adam. I hope you too will become them. Why not lead yourself? I am here to serve, but also I am disqualified. I was born without gender, and thus I can neither be Adam nor Eve. Well, how do you know? I was told, and to be fair, it feels right. So, Lisbeth, go ahead. My grandmother led the families. She prevailed less convergence, and as the first in 500 years, she stayed independent throughout. Sadly, no matter how smart and cunning one is, death will come for us all eventually. Do you have any other questions? And my grandmother was? You, your father, and her are from those who leave. After every convergence, your bloodline chooses to leave us again. That's how it's been since the start, and that's how it will be forever. You seem quite convinced. When you've seen the things I've seen, you would be convinced of the eternity of the system, too. Sounds a little menacing. Some things can only be expressed menacingly. Do you have any other questions? How do I fit in this? You're of those who leave, and every convergence you return to claim your position among us. Right. Do you have any other questions? I have asked all my questions. I hope this is making everything clear. My father. Wait, did he yeah, here we go. Did my father die last convergence? For a moment you think Lisbeth won't answer you. I promised to tell you the truth, did I not? One of the people attending the convergence killed him. Unfortunately, I can't tell you who. So he was murdered. I'm sorry. I'll leave you with her, if you'd like. No, I've seen enough. As Lisbeth leads you to the exit of the chapel, you pass the man from earlier. Ronaldo looks deep in thought. As for us, where would you like to go? I want to go to my room. I've got to process all of this. I'd like to see my room. Lisbeth leads you up a large flight of stairs and down a row of corridors. It occurs to you that the castle is considerable in size, perhaps almost hiding its enormity beneath the veneer of forlorn glory. Lisbeth stops before your designated room. A surprised frown appears on her face. A loud call comes from within the room. Oh, I don't know whose voice this is, so it's probably going to change. Oh, Lisbeth! You hear in a sing-songy voice from the room. Oh, Lisbeth. No, it's like, oh, Lisbeth! That's probably it. An older woman waddles out and pulls Lisbeth aside. You choose to follow. That was a mistake. Because as you enter, your eyes are immediately drawn towards a man lying across the bed, stark white, naked, dead. A large chef's knife stands proud as its blade is pierced right through the man's sternum, all the way down to the fabric of the mattress. What? What? Okay, well, this is getting right to it. Okay, I'm gonna stay silent. Oh, I've gained knowledge powerful enough to affect reality. Oh, but Patrick, you idiot. What did you get yourself into? Are you honestly surprised? No, not at all, Diana. That makes two of us. Wait, is that the 11th child? Oh, Les! It's good to see you again. My, you've grown into quite the looker. You don't seem upset? Trust me, you'd murder Patrick too if you had remembered him. A sleazebag, a con man, a serial abuser, and those are just the ways people would compliment him. But I don't think I've ever experienced a convergence with someone being killed beforehand. This could potentially become an issue. Could it? Interesting. Well, I suppose now the twins will have to fight over who needs to take his place. Shouldn't we do something? There is little we can do for him now. However, someone broke the rules. I mean, we've got a killer here. Oh, you sweet child. If that's what you're concerned about, you're in for a surprise. But it does make me wonder who would stand to gain most from this. I mean, is that a chef's knife? If you believe it was any of us, I can assure you we have little to gain. Oh, Bethy. Don't bother. Your lineage is as obsessed with this as we are. You're always so good at pretending you're not. The woman turns her back to her as she seems to find you more interesting than Elizabeth. Police anyone? Oh, yes. You're entirely unaware how things go around here. Suffice to say, the police will never set a foot in here. And why is that? Because we won't let them. And if you do let them come, well, you might be joining Patrick here. Now, Diana, that's uncalled for. She throws a look at Lisbeth. So you found the body. Ah, you're going to play the detective, are you? Just saying it's suspicious. Do you see blood anywhere on these clothes? Could have changed them. I could have. And what are you going to do about it? I'm not going to say anything. These people are all murderers. I'm not saying anything. That's what I thought. But just to satisfy your curiosity, all I did was find him. I never killed him. Is no one going to take care of him? Yes, Elizabeth, take care of that. Diana, it's the convergence. Diana's eyes grow as if she just realized she did something foolish. Of course. We'll get someone to clean up. You called me the 11th child. We're getting to that soon. Please be patient. Oh, Bethy, you're so terrible at this. You're the 11th child because the 12 children of the families were selected, and thus 12 candidates for convergence. Of course, there are candidates of quality, and then there are those like you. But I've taken a liking to you, so do try to stay alive. She gives you a warm, friendly, and utterly affected smile. Her eyes betray no sense of camaraderie. Who are you? Diana of the delightful Peckbeer family. We had some interesting conversations during the last convergence. Are you still dating that rapscallion? I was dating someone? Of course you don't remember. You left. All those who leave us forget. Actions have consequences, child. Didn't I ask who are you? I think I'd like to leave. And I suppose someone should go and inform Corvus and Cora now of their participation. 13 children this time. A record. Diana leaves the two of you with the corpse. Upon hearing the last remark, Lisbeth looks up in surprise. So 13 is unusual. Unless we're breaking with tradition, Diana knows we won't have 13 contestants. Knowing her, she'll enjoy making the twins choose. Regardless of what will happen now, the game has changed. I will inform the staff of this, and I'm sure they'll get you a cleaner room. We should leave before anyone starts drawing inconvenient conclusions. And some fresh air will be nice too. She puts your luggage outside the room and leads you back to the courtyard. Why is everybody convinced I'm gonna get murdered? Why? Back in the courtyard, you see Lisbeth take out a pack of cigarettes and light one up. She holds the pack of cigarettes in front of you. You? You know what? I'm gonna have a cig. Yes, so much yes. You light one up too. The rush of nicotine clears up the fog in your mind. So, the dead corpse. That's a pleonasm. All corpses are dead. Well, great moment for pedantry. I am concerned. Someone broke the rules. This is not supposed to happen. Not yet, anyway. So murdering is a part of the deal? It is not. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop some people thinking it is. But to take out the competition beforehand. Regardless, he is dead now. Hopefully, we can continue the convergence still. Well, why does this need to happen? Lisbeth takes another hit from the cigarette before she speaks. There are forces. No, you'll see at the funeral. Just a few more hours. Diana mentioned the twins. Yes, family of Patrick. They'll have to take his place. Well, one of them has to. Diana sounded happy about it. Diana sees everyone as competition. She might not be participating, but she certainly wants her horse to win the race. Knowing her, she's in the kitchen right now, gleefully informing the twins of their participation. Well, what now? As for now, let me take you to the kitchen. Some refreshments might help. Once there, you witness Diana standing in the middle of the room, straight up, shoulders high, and a grin that spells delightful disaster. Opposite of her sit two people in shock, a man and a woman, looking exactly alike. You find yourself standing right between them and Diana. This isn't fair! Lisbeth, tell her she's wrong. I'm not getting in the middle of this. We're staying silent. Diana, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous? Cora, are you calling our ancient traditions ridiculous? And this coming from one of the old blood family. I look at Lisbeth. The rules are rules. With Patrick dead, one of you need to take his place. Are they rules or traditions? Traditions inform rules and vice versa. We can be creative. That exactly. It would be so much easier if you would just choose. It's not like your life's on the line. I understand, but I'm not the one making the call. Well, who is? That would be the High Priest Theseus. You see all of them exchange uncertain looks. Corvus slams his fist on the kitchen table. Fuck! As I said, it would be so much easier if you choose Corvus. Alright, so who is Theseus? He looks up at you for a brief moment as if considering whether to answer your question. Some questions you don't want to have answers to yet. Actually, I do. A monster. And my uncle. The High Priest is simply carrying out his duty. She turns back to the twins. Look, I understand this is not fair, but you'll have to make a choice. Because otherwise, Theseus will do it for you. Well, let's all be reasonable here. I don't know what... Well, clearly not all the losers die because... my character, I don't even know if I have a name, actually made it out, but I don't know. The reasonable thing is for them to make a choice. Okay, that's fair. She turns back to the twins. I think it's best we'll leave you to consider your choice. Diana, you too. Good luck. She walks past you and Lisbeth without saying another word. The twins look in no mood to contradict Lisbeth, and so she takes you aside. Oh yeah, you're right. It's only one representative from each family. As for us, I'll take you back to your room now. Free of any issues, I hope. Lisbeth leads you back to your room in the guest wing. This time she makes sure the room is clear of anything unexpected before you go in. No dead corpse this time? Only living ones, as you can see. I will leave you for now. If there is anything, you can find me in the courtyard. But for now, I recommend you get some rest. I'll come and pick you up in the evening before the funeral. Without awaiting your reply, she leaves you before your room. The room is pristine and clean. Only the memory of Patrick's corpse lingers in the room. I don't want to sleep on this bed. There was a dead body on it. You put your luggage down and exhaustion strikes you. Perhaps it was the travel. Perhaps it was the stress. But before you realize it, you succumb to sleep. You dream of falling into a void. You hear voices of people you feel you should know by name. To look up to the sky so desperately, but something in you is stopping you, telling you you're not worthy of witnessing what is right above you. But suddenly a series of loud thuds wakes you from this dream. And soon enough, Lisbeth appears. Without exchanging words, you two leave for the chapel. Before you stand rows and rows of chairs, the occupants censored by the thick darkness engulfing the chapel. Your eyes are drawn towards the stage. No longer breathes the calming atmosphere of the farewell of a loved one. Instead, there is only this. Lisbeth places her hand on your back and gently pushes you, guiding you ever forward. This doesn't look very... this looks a little creepy. You keep passing sets of seats and guests, their faces unknown, barely lit, their gazes piercing against your back. She leads you to the first row of seats. They're just a small distance from the crowd. A few are already occupied. You can just about discern Diana's silhouette. Lisbeth gestures at one of the chairs and sits herself down on another. I don't know, that's a good question. With little else to do, you take a seat. You could almost touch the stage if you tried. You sense the room is slowly being filled up with more and more people. One of them even takes a seat next to you. But all you can do is stare at the body in front of you. A deep, clear voice booms from the direction of the podium, soon followed by its owner. An older man takes stand behind the microphones. Welcome, everybody. His small eyes run over the crowd, seeking and searching for those to latch his steely gaze onto. Alright, this guy is creepy looking. When he reaches you... Oh, I don't want to look at this guy. I look away. As you turn away from his gaze, the edge of his lips curl into a slight smirk. We have gathered today to bid a final farewell to the greatest among us. Born from the lowliest of our families, Eve was nothing short of an example to every single one of us. A truest servant of our magnificent patron. Who amongst you remembers how she effortlessly defanged her competition only a decade ago? Who amongst you still feels the scars that she has inflicted on every single one of us? Who amongst you still dreams of the night of her ascension? And who amongst you thinks they can replace her majesty? A soft murmur runs through the crowd. I say, who here has the arrogance to believe they will serve our patron best? To your surprise, you see several hands from the crowd in the air. Ronaldo is among them. Do I want to? I don't think I do. No, I don't want none of this. Hand down. One by one, voices sound for the crowd, speaking a strange language and carrying a strange tune. You don't understand any of the words chanted, but you still feel them resonating deep inside of you. For the first time in years, you feel at home. Yes, say Lord and preach and reach the patron. What? How do I know this word? I guess I'm just gonna say the word. Drutin. The crowd repeats their shouts. The flames flicker in the rhythm of their mantra. And when the voices reach crescendo, the high priest shushes them. Listen. Centuries ago, our families were lost. But then the stars whispered to us. They recognized how we represent the 5 tenets of humanity. Tradition, ambition, creativity, submission, and treachery. They recognized that we were destined to serve the patron, and in turn, the patron provides. Our Truthin provides, chants the crowd. You molded Mathilde into Eve, and provided her the tools to do great works. Who of us lower beings could have ever expected her achievements when she took control? Her wit and persistence brought pitiful beggars to beg us for mercy. The laws now favor us, and our creations are exhibited in every prominent gallery across the globe. With her sad passing, one of us will now gain the patron's eternal power. As tradition prescribes, 12 of you have already been chosen. One of you shall be the patron's new favorite and lead us. Come, candidates, come and present yourself to me and to Eve. Soon enough, 11 of you stand before the podium. Aside from Ronaldo, you don't recognize any of the others. They are mixed in age, gender, origin, wealth, and level of excitement. The high priest looks over the lot of you. Then his dominating gaze makes way for confusion. I only count 11 of you. Well. Patrick is no longer with us. He looks at you with his piercing gaze and visibly dry swallows. And who will replace him? One of the Van Rokello twins, Your Excellency. He turns to them like the devil put fire beneath his shins. What are you waiting for? For the patron to come down and drag you forward? We just think... Get down here, boy, and you too. As Corvus tried to say, we... Who of you is taking Patrick's place? The twins exchange looks. Then Corvus steps forward, his shoulders tensed up. Neither of us needs to. For a brief moment, the old priest spoke no words. Instead, his shoulders heaved up and down. Are you daft? How dare you throw away this opportunity? You should be fighting each other for the honor, not act in shame. Perhaps Patrick shouldn't have ashamed us by getting all murdered like that. Don't you talk about him like that. And he's not here to beg your forgiveness now, is he? Which one of you is going to take his place? He will play no part in this. The high priest inhales firmly, as if he was about to burst out. But instead, his eyes grow in enlightenment, and he throws back his head. Very well. He walks over to the small red casket and takes the revolver on display in his hand. As he puts the bullets in, one by one, he addresses you directly. You, 11th child of treachery. He paces over to you and procures a coin from his pocket. His hand is noticeably shaking in distress. In stress. Prove yourself to the patron. Heads or tails? Wait, what? What are you planning with that gun? It's not complicated. Heads or tails? Elizabeth, what is happening? Elizabeth sits right up and tenses her shoulders as if she was bracing herself for what was about to happen next. Penance. What? Silence. You've had the chance to choose. Now suffer the consequences of your ineptitude. Fuck. Well, I have no choice. Tails. The high priest turns to Cora and levels the revolver with her heart. Before anyone can act, he pulls the trigger. A male voice cries out. In utter disbelief, you stare at the convulsing body of Cora, at her hand reaching into the sky as if attempting to claw her soul back into her body. Her mouth moves as if to say something, but the tremors from her chest make it impossible. I had no idea someone dying took this long. It's not I didn't pull the trigger! Look, I didn't pull the trigger, and he was gonna kill somebody. It could have been me. Did you even want this to happen? One down, just 11 more to go. No, of course not. In which case, shall we say this was a vision of things to come? No, I will accept reality. It gives you a chance to go back, I guess. Very well. As the fog was lifted from your mind's eye, you find yourself once more in the chapel. The body has been covered with a white sheet, and members of the staff gathered around it to take it away. Oh my god, who am I looking at? I don't want to look at any of these peoples. Okay, Ronaldo seems okay. I'm gonna look at Ronaldo. You see him staring in silence, his face even whiter than before. The high priest takes the stage again. Say, Lord, and reach the patron. A soft druthin from the public follows, but it's not enough to cover the remaining twins' soft sobbing. Oh, patron, forgive us our inactions. Forgive us our temperance. Forgive us our compassion. Patron, forgive us, shouts the crowd. Oh, patron, while we are weak, pathetic, and scared, before you stand the strongest of us, the bravest, the most vicious. And through their cleverness, their ruthlessness, and their charisma, one of them shall prove worthy of your respect. Then there only rests one thing to do before convergence. He points at Eve's corpse, cocks to safety, and soon a gunshot echoes through the chapel. A lucid liquid bespeckled with dark red flakes flows softly from the wound and stains Eve's clothes. The crowd starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When it reaches 11, you feel like your body is engulfed in ice-cold water. You try to breathe, but all you feel is a deep emptiness filling your lungs. And then something warm spreads across your spine and ribs, as if grabbing hold of you. You gasp. When the high priest notices your reaction, he smiles. Ew, no! Please tell me he's not touching me! Please, oh! Let the convergence commence! Your dreams are occupied with visages of what transpired the day before. An uneasy motif of gun and blade guide your dreams. The calls of Drutin, fill the dark landscapes of your mind. Restful sleep was not meant for the likes of you. Here you are now, trapped in a game of which you knew nothing, playing with people out for your life. You might as well make the best of it. You hear a series of knocks coming your way. It takes you only a moment to realize the staff is going door to door, waking everyone up. When they get to your room, yeah, it's probably some magic or something, I don't know. Receive the staff polite. And it's not the staff's fault. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm never mean to the staff unless they're unless they're like mean to me. Without exchanging a word, they gesture for you to follow them. You're joined by a small group of other tired and groggy faces. Only Ronaldo is familiar to you. In the great hall, the staff leads you and the others to one end of the hall. As you pass them, you notice Lisbeth and Diana and two unfamiliar men waiting patiently for the hall to fill up. A woman joins you and Ronaldo. She sighs dramatically and folds her arms before she laments. I can't believe we're waiting again. I say we disqualify all of them for wasting our time. What's happening? What do you mean, what's happening? Oh! Her sudden epiphany makes her look at you with dramatic sympathy. I forgot you don't remember. Well, in the next 4 days, us candidates are going to have to make a case for ourselves, proving why we should leave the families. How does one do that? Ultimately, you need to convince everyone you're the greatest amongst us. In practice, you'll have to convince the family heads to support your claim. Anyway, where is everyone? I'm patient. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to trust anyone, but I'm going to trust Ronaldo because maybe then we can actually kiss. I feel like maybe I can kiss this guy. You know, if I wasn't reading out loud, I would go get myself a drink. I'm just kidding, okay? You know what? Alright, let me just keep going. That's not really the goal. Chewy. Oh, he's being so cute today. Okay, I'm patient. Good for you. However, I have so many more important things to do. More important than the convergence, Isabel? And how many poor, helpless children in Africa will be fed by this charade? None. Speaking of poor and helpless children, I'm her half-brother, not her secretary. Well, I would have just assumed you'd be the one making sure she's not already breaking anything or anyone. A woman jumps from the crowd at Isabel. She grabs Isabel's shoulders firmly. In turn, a loud scream echoes from her mouth. You were saying? Get your filthy hands off me. P lets go of Isabel. When she notices you, she leans over to you and simply smiles. Smile back. For the moment or so, the two of you exchange smiles. She lifts her 2 fingers to her eyes and then points them at yours and back to hers again. Is she always like that? It's all just an act. At least I have an act. Your attention is soon grabbed by a new duo entering the scene. When they enter, you notice Diana raise her head, peering with intent at the duo. This sorry bunch is our competition? Careful, Theodora. One of the traitors is amongst them. And as we've already seen yesterday, they're Black Swans evident. They're Black Swan events They're Black Swan events personified. Why can't I not read that line? I don't know if that's blood or not. Chewie, no, you're getting in the way of my scream, boo-boo. Come on, be good. The man approaches you and holds his hand out to you. I'm Rain. This is Theodora. Might have been paint. I don't know what it is. Sorry, I need to be careful. Rain flashes a pained smile and pulls his hand back. Of course. Theodora laughs in response and slaps Rayan in his shoulder. You tried! But before anything else can transpire, you're all interrupted. She pulls Rayan away from you. Where is Cease? He's not with you? Diana's piercing gaze causes a slight cringe in Rayan. Before Diana can chew him out, a young man appears. He holds a mobile phone up in the air and stares at it as if he's giving a small performance. And this is a great haul. Well, I don't see what's so great about it. You know, I had expected some gold, some bling, but it's just old. Ooh, looks like the other losers are already waiting for us. Judging by their sense of fashion, they're just as old as this whole stupid castle. Do nothing. Okay, so... Diana rushes over to him and sweeps the phone right out of his hands. After a few well-placed interactions, she returns the phone to him. I was Shush! Get over here! What? Come on, boy! She grabs him by the back of his neck. Like a meek little sheep, he allows her to push him towards your group. As the three arrive at the larger group, she pauses for a moment, looking at the lot of you with uncertain intent. Oh Lord, more people to tolerate. You take care of this, Ronaldo. I already had a deal with Eve's grandchild. Well, you're awful too. Excuse me? Ah, see, even this little good deed of mine goes underappreciated. Before more squabbling can continue, another woman walks gently into the scene. She bows at Lisbeth and the others. I'm running out of voices, you guys. I don't know how to do this. It is a pleasure to see all of you. Only Lisbeth acknowledges her. As if expecting something horrible to happen, she rushes past the group of new bloods and joins you. Or at least, you thought so until she walks right past you, towards someone you hadn't noticed at all until now. Ava! So sorry to see you here. The two share a firm and friendly embrace. We'll get through it. Poor souls. Isabel throws a clear look of pity in their direction. If only someone could save them. What's with the sympathy? I firmly believe we need more sympathy in the world, not less. What Isabel is trying to say is that during every convergence, the servants are the first to be killed off. Wait, why? Well, it's tradition, and tradition is sacred. Or at least it was until you were stunned yesterday. Who knows what'll happen now? Well, I'll be sure to organize a memorial service for them. And in case you're wondering, you're not invited, Pay. She responds with her eyebrows raised. But their attention is soon diverted to the remaining twin making their entrance. Corvus doesn't even grant a look at the elders as he walks past them, like a man brought to the gallows. Very different in the attitude of the woman who follows him. Or is the attitude. Ah, Artemis, lovely to see you. Likewise, Uncle Cadmus. When I see you, I see the pride of our blood. I expect great things from you this convergence. And I'll be sure to fulfill all of those expectations. Artemis places her hand on her chest before nodding at you. Artemis van Rokilu. I don't know how to say this name. Rokilu. Old Bloods. Nod back. Just so you know, I'm going to win. Theodora scoffs. So charming you think your bluster can win from good breeding. At least she doesn't compare herself to a horse. Diana, admit it, you were thinking the same thing. As Lisbeth is about to reply to her, a disheveled man appears in the doorway. Oh my god, there are too many people to keep track of. But you care little about his appearance as your eyes are drawn towards the rifle in his hands. What is the meaning of this, Woden? Hold on, I'm gonna burp. Okay, that wasn't a really big burp, but it had to come out. He briefly looks at Lisbeth throwing the rifle over his shoulder. I came prepared. Without saying another word, he edges towards you and the others. I'm not here to kill. I'm here to survive. You all best keep that in mind. The other candidates make room for Woden, though keep a healthy distance away from him. Cadmus waits for everyone to calm down again before speaking. Very well, now that all of you are here, for those who don't know, don't remember, or don't care, or didn't care to remember, I am Cadmus von, what do you say? Rokilo, I guess. Head of the oldest of the families. Next to me, the lovely Lady Diana Pacdaire-Tan, head of the newest of our families. She narrows her eyes at you. Followed by the incomparable, indomitable Florise de Muist, responsible for the artists among us. He observes you with a certain expectation. And finally, the one who keeps us on the path to greatness, who maintains our traditions and assures our ongoing glory. Lisbeth Stahl leads our servants. Lisbeth, please. Candidates, above all, the convergence is not a murder fest. It is about who is best fit to lead us and to receive the patron's blessing. Whether you prove this through your charm, your wits, or your might. That all being what it is, there is only one rule. The murder of non-candidates is out of the question. We will not have a repetition of 1765. If we suspect you of attempting grievous harm to those not selected, we will end you. As our words reach the furthest corners of the room, no one dares to say anything in dissent. Have we made ourselves clear? A resounding yes follows. You have 4 days to prove yourselves superior. Praise the patron, and good luck. Oh. Well, let's save. I haven't saved yet. Alright, so I guess... I don't know. I guess I can go to different areas of the mansion. This is the throne room. You know, I'm going to the garden. I think this is the garden. Or is this the parking lot? F. Ancient shrine. We're gonna go to the ancient shrine. Dying for parts. Someone is digging things up in the graveyard. Ooh. What the heck? You're not far outside the castle grounds when you stumble into a bizarre collection of gravestones and mausoleums. The muddy pathway is littered with the remainder of statues. Some shine in pristine modern marble, while others are made of mossy stone as old as time. In the distance you see a figure sitting down at a freshly dug grave. Check what P is doing? What? Alright, well I guess we're gonna go talk to P. The closer you get to P, the louder the digging gets. Before you reveals itself a large makeshift hole. Around it lie a variety of tools and ropes, most of the gear is covered in a thick layer of mud. A large shovel is thrown your way. A moment later, P sticks her head outside the hole. Great, you're here! Come down and help me out! She grabs hold of something in the muddy walls of the hole and starts pulling. What are you doing? Just help me, you'll see! Fine. The both of you start pulling the handle. It takes a few tries, but soon enough the tip of the casket appears from the mud. We're grave robbing? It's more! Grave borrowing! I think I'll stop helping you. She shrugs her shoulders. She grabs a crowbar from the stack of tools and sticks it between the lid and the coffin. It takes only a few tries before she cracks open the case. I'm curious. Inside you see the bones of an ancient human being pressed against the leathered sheet that was once his skin. P grabs a large box cutter from her tools and starts cutting the skin all around the elbow. Once done, she pulls the arm firmly and finally dislodges it from the corpse. Soon enough, she stands there with the 300-year-old arm in her hands. I see you don't need a hand anymore. I gotta say it. Okay, you can go now. She shoos you away. I'd like some explanation. Everyone's always asking so many questions. Whatever happened, just show, don't tell. She mutters. Oh, it's talking, never creating. I'll create. I'll be busy here for a while. Nothing to see. Come back later. Fine. Whatever. Alright, so other places I can check out. So this is the workshop and then the garden. We're going to go to the garden. Golden Caged. One of the servants is taking a break in the garden. The garden is blanketed in silence, save for the questioning chirp every now and then from the residents. Just out of sight, you can see a broken dome, the origin of the most peculiar residence, and as your eyes lock with one of the many colorful birds, the sound of someone humming slices through the moment. You're not alone. You whirl around to come face to face with the source. Ah, you've discovered the only place in the castle where you can actually hear yourself think. Who are you? Straight to the point, I admire that. My name is Ava. I belong to the servants, but more importantly, I belong to my husband. He comes from money, power, and influence. Tell me, what do you prefer? Money, power, or influence? Well, I really don't think one can exist without the other. Oh. Well, I admit you caught me off guard with that answer. They are interconnected, but can we really achieve all three without giving up our soul in return? Then again, what do you value most, your soul or your life? Oh, shit. Well, I think my soul at this point. A fool's error. Your soul will damn you. Well, what do you desire? For things to stay as they are. For me to continue on without looking behind my shoulder. Look at me. I know what I'm capable of. I know my days are numbered. But I will not disappear into the ether. Oh, I guess some things pop up and then they go away. So I'm assuming that's how you end up getting the different endings and stuff. I don't know. What's this here? This is... Let's see what's in the chapel. Well, Isabel is paying respects to my grandmother. Maybe she'd be interested in a chat. Okay. And then this one, the spider in the trap. Someone found a suspicious package. Ooh. Oh, it is meant for multiple playthroughs. There are a lot of different endings. So, yeah. I think I found... I think I'm gonna go... Well, I don't know if I wanna... I don't know. Alright, we're gonna go check out that package. Find that your path is taking you to a familiar location, the place where your journey here began. The courtyard looks empty, or rather, it looks cleaner than your last visit. Gone are the piles of crates and the sea of work bands. A great deal of care has gone into this, yet it has done little to lift the aura of darkness that looms over the castle grounds. As you travel towards the center, you spot a familiar figure hunched over, their back towards you. It's one of the servants, Dorte. She doesn't notice you. Something else, something peculiar has her attention. I might as well sneak up on her. Your steps are as silent as death itself. Your target, Dorte, is too engrossed in whatever it is that is buried in the hole. Chewy, in front of her. Not Chewy. He just walked right in front of me. Inching closer to Dorte reveals the object that has caught her attention. A trap. Rigged to explode with just a bit of pressure. What? Oh my god! Why do I don't want to kill her! Why am I given this option? I'm gonna call out her name. I don't know. Your voice startles Dorte, who almost slips and falls to her doom. An annoyed grunt escapes her lips as she uses her weight and her palms to steady herself. Did you just try to kill me? What are these options? I was trying to get your attention. You almost blew me up. I can't even. What? Take a look at this. I found this thingamabob while cleaning the yard. The reason behind Dorte's careful demeanor is unveiled. The object, though crude in design, has a very clear objective. You see the strands of wires wrapped around a cylinder. The liquid inside is eerily still, as if one small shake would disturb it from its slumber to wreak havoc. This definitely looks like a trap. Do you think it might explode? Move back. How did you find it? Hidden right there, with the leaves, so that someone can step on it. Dorte visibly balks at the deduction she's made. This is crazy, like a whole other level of insane. So what do we do about it? I'll leave it alone. No can do. This will definitely bite me in the ass if we leave it here. Well, suit yourself. The trap, its intention, and its inner workings prove to be too much. There is nothing that you can do here. Is this a loss or a victory? That remains to be seen. Somebody's dying to that trap. Alright, this is the stables. We're going there. What lies can never love again. Why is Artemis alone in the stables? As you walk into the stables, you're overwhelmed by a certain feeling of foreboding. The surrounding smell of hay and animals. Somehow, the scent triggers a memory. But just as you're about to grasp hold of it, you're interrupted by a voice. Do I want the memory or do I want the voice? I want the memory. You close your eyes and take in a few deep breaths of the hay-filled surroundings. As the thick air fills your lungs, you feel a flash of heat. Before you stands your grandmother. She's stroking the old cold-blood horse with care. A smile appears on her face as she notices you. I see your mother explained it to you. Yes, but I don't want to. Her friendly demeanor freezes. The patron knows best. Said there are other options. Her face contorts and bitterness fills her eyes. She's at it again, isn't she? Her strokes become harsher. The horse pulls away from her hand. Your mother doesn't have the guts. Never has, never will. Listen, in this world there is only power. Either it is yours or it is someone else's. And anyone believing the contrary never had to fight for survival. But I don't want to die. And neither did I. But child, look at me now. Struggle brings salvation. Above all, the Jotun knows best. The Jotun knows best. I do indeed. You hear a loud, blood-curdling scream and suddenly find yourself back in the stables. Uh-oh. I run towards the scream. When you get there, you see the body of Ava lying in a puddle of blood. A large splitting axe sticks out of her back. It doesn't take you long to conclude what killed her. Next to the body stand Artemis and Woden. Not like this. What the hell did you do, Woden? Protected you? She was about to murder you. No, she wasn't! We were just having a disagreement and you killed her! The rage on Woden's face disappears and he looks at the body. She was saying she was going to kill you. He only now takes notice of you, but he says nothing. What is this? He shakes his head in disbelief. Artemis kneels down next to the body and takes Ava's head in a loving embrace. Oh, Ava. Why the hell would you? I thought Ava was going to... So you just axed her? I had good reasons to be suspicious. Shut up! Just shut up! Odin's gaze darts around the stables in search of anything. You notice the snub-nosed revolver before he does. Hide it. Hide it! You walk over and kick the revolver into the hay when neither are looking in your direction. Meanwhile, Artemis begins to get up. She pauses for a moment as she notices how much blood is on her. Let's take care of her body before others might get ideas. But don't say a word to me. You killed her, Woden. Live with it. Live with it like I will have to. Artemis briefly leaves the two of you. Soon after, she comes back accompanied by a small number of staff. Every single one of them is silent the moment they lay their eyes upon the body. Come on. We don't have all evening. The staff exchange looks with one another. It is clear to you they are gutted by what has transpired. Logical, Ava was one of their own. Both Artemis and Woden don't say a word save for instructing the staff. Very quickly, you start feeling like a third wheel. There's nothing left for you to do here. I hope we get answers. I think so. Here you are again in the oasis of this nightmare. What will come of those you've met? What will transpire tomorrow? What will happen to you? But you are certain of one thing. You mattered. Your actions mattered. It is tomorrow that will tell you how. Or, if you are so inclined, perhaps in the right hands the strings of destiny can play a different tune. I'm just gonna accept my current fate. I mean, there's no really use going back. I'm just gonna do it. Your bravery is commendable, if perhaps a little foolish. But so it is done. Wake up, wake up! A happy, bright new day awaits. Though neither of those qualifiers would ever fit the weather outside your window. You hear the familiar rattling of someone knocking at your door, and a member of staff appears in your doorway. Morning, Lady Portwachter, I guess. Lady Stahl personally charged me with the task of coming and picking you up. I kind of miss Lisbeth. At least she seemed the most, decent out of these people. I won't hold it against you. Who's Portwachter? Your surname? Who are you? Oh, I am of little consequence, I assure you. Well, let me get myself ready. Of course, after you're done refreshing yourself, please follow me. The servant leads you down to the great hall. You're clearly one of the last to arrive. The smell of dark roasted coffee, freshly baked eggs, strands of fried bacon, and an assortment of local and French cheeses greet your nostrils like a warm hug. A large table stands in the middle of the hall with a variety of breakfast foods available for your choosing. Something about it just seems off. A little to the side you see the other contestants seated at various tables across the great hall. Though some have opted to stand a little further away while pecking at their plates. Despite the comfort of good food, there is a tension thick enough to play like a fiddle. I feel like the music in the background, and it's getting me to stumble on my words, but I feel like this is part of, almost sounds very similar to the Moonlight Sonata. I'm expecting the piano to come in here. Yeah, I think it is Moonlight Sonata. Okay, anyways. There is no... what is that? There is no Gezalade here, only a twisted parody of a cozy family breakfast. The old bloods, Artemis and Woden, are observing you with a certain reservation. The other contestants are treating Woden with clear animosity. Rayan regards you briefly, but returns to his conversation with Theodora. Dorte sits in the corner, observing the other contestants. She has her eyes directed at Woden. They spell trouble. Isabel looks with profound disgust at how P consumes the contents of her plate with a vigor few would ever devote to their food. But When you come closer, the voices become dulled, as if your presence removes the air from the room. No matter what you do or how you present yourself, every time you approach a group, their eyes tell you not to bother. They know what you've done. They know. The only person who seems to be at all interested in you is P. Ugh. Do I want to talk to P? I don't know if I want to talk to her. Ugh. Fine. I mean, you're certainly making things more interesting. I can only say I'm happy you got rid of Patrick. What a piece of trash. That wasn't me. She fakes a big fat nod. P switches her attention to Isabel with an expression that spells mischief. She doesn't seem interested in talking to you any longer. I don't know. She might have. As you put your plate down and are about to leave the great hall for what it is, your attention is suddenly grabbed by Cease. He starts holding his phone up to his face and appears to be giving a monologue. Occasionally, his eyes flick over the rest of the room. Once done, he climbs onto the table and holds his phone set to record all participants. You're too slow to act and are now also very prominently displayed on the recording. Hey everyone! Hope you all enjoyed your meals, courtesy of the Old Bloods, of course. Did you know I was the first to arrive? I bet you all didn't. And I thought to myself, why not prepare a little surprise? I poisoned all the food. For a brief moment, everyone's frozen in shock, followed by pandemonium. The first to get up is Isabel, who runs off with a sickly white face, pulling Roos with her. You see Dorte paging through a notebook very hastily. Several of the other contestants drop whatever food they had inside their mouths. You feel something in your stomach itching. You can't quite make out if it's a bad itch. I think he's lying. I'm gonna stand and watch the chaos. Sometimes it's best for a person to do nothing, and now is that time. You sit yourself down while all around you a large cacophony of voices and yells weaves itself into a dissonant tune. Meanwhile, Cease looks like he's having an absolute blast. With the way he's moving across the scene, filming every action and interaction, it becomes clear to you that Cease has taken the piss out of everyone. He notices you're not upset. What gives? Well done. Nah, it's actually a little boring, really. You're just jealous. He grins and takes a quick leap onto a table and twirls like the eye of a hurricane. He raises his hands up while making sure the telephone camera is still capturing all of it. Once he's had his serving of fun, he addresses the crowd once more. Just kidding. Oh my god, you should see all of your faces. Holy shit, you're all so dumb. Woden narrows his eyes. Uh-oh. Woden's gonna kill him. Should I just watch? Should I just let these people tear each other apart? Ah, he's just a kid. Intercept Woden. He gets up and there shouldn't be a with there. He gets up and runs at Cease with the rage of a bull. You throw yourself against Woden, but your strength is not enough to stop him in his tracks. Instead, you both tumble across the ground, and soon Woden is on top of you. He breathes heavily as he looks bemusedly at you. What the hell? We don't need more death. I wasn't going to kill him! I swear I wasn't! Woden encapsulates his face with his fingers. What you still see of his eyes are filled with the deepest dread you've seen a man bear. Looks like the demons finally came to roost. Serves you right. As for Cease, I want him removed, and I'm willing to go all the way to ensure that. If you touch him, you'll die. Before tensions can rise up any higher, Dorte appears between the two of them. Listen, everyone, let's just try to keep a cool head. Don't you have a plate to clean somewhere? She's right. Let's stop the violence. I demand retribution! Let me make it very clear. If I find you attacking Cease, you'll be dealing with all of us. Who said anything about you finding out? You're fighting like children. May I remind you that this is the Convergence? The single most important event in your life. Ah, of course I need to remind you. You keep forgetting, much like you keep forgetting your place. Please, calm down. Enough has already happened. What about that loose cannon over there? Rodin, you mean? I overreacted. I admit that. Overreacted? Is that what you call it? Shall we ask Ava if she agrees with that assessment? Did what was necessary. No, you did what you wanted to do all along. You think I didn't spot you eyeing at the servants, at the artists, at us? You're nothing but a raging beast. I'm not going to stand here and get accused of this. Well, she's not wrong. You're taking their side? We're family. You killed Ava. No, I'm done with you. If everyone thinks of me as a monster, then I have nothing to add here. But I will say one thing. I came prepared, but not for this battle. With those words, he leaves you. Dorte is about to say something when she immediately falls silent. Her attention is grabbed by the phone on the floor. But you also spot P showing interest, and she'll be there first. Just disrupt the converge? I don't know how this is gonna end. Alright, so I'm gonna interrupt P. You step right in front of P. Oh, sorry. She quirks an eyebrow. I wonder why you did that. Did what? No matter, not my problem. Meanwhile, it looks like Dorte managed to get hold of the phone of both Vera and Trace. When you look around, you see most people have already left the Great Hall amidst all the chaos. Around you, various members of staff have started piling up the dirty dishes. There's not much left for you to do here. Yeah, these people are crazy. I know, they're all crazy. Alright, so we got G is the garden. I can go into the boardroom. I haven't been in there yet. And then the servants' room. Let's go to the boardroom. New blood schemes. I wonder what the new bloods are up to after this morning. The distance you cross to get to the New Bloods' territory seems to last forever. You entered the extravagant New Bloods' quarters, but you are definitely not alone. It was just a joke! That could have cost you your head, or worse, the victory of the family! I can't believe you'd be this irresponsible! What do you want? Is there anything I can do? I just wanted to check on Cease. I'm alive. Well, thanks to any of you. We saved you from a bloodthirsty mob! What the hell is wrong with you, kid? I didn't ask for your help. You know what? I'll figure this out all myself. Mark my words, I'll be the favorite and there's nothing you can do about it. He walks off, leaving you with a group of amused New Bloods. I don't know. I'm an old blood. I don't care. I'm just going where I feel like it. It is Theodora who first clears her throat and speaks up again. Are you still going to hang around here? Oh, I can join them. I don't know. Do I want to join anybody? I don't even want to be here. New blood, old blood, I don't even care. I'll be going. She eyes you up and down with intent. Next time, Theodora. Next time. Get going, kid, before I change my mind. You only barely cross the threshold when the door is slammed shut behind you. On a different onto a different adventure. Alright. Let's see. We can go to the garden again. Or to see the servants' room. Let's check on the servants. Whispers from beneath. I heard some servants speak in hushed voices. Perhaps they're not as helpless as they appear. Yeah, probably. The quarters, though large, feel almost claustrophobic as you enter. The area has been recently cleaned, however. The occupants of the room are going about their daily routine. But you spot both Nor and Lisbeth in the corner. From Lisbeth's expression, the subject matter is grave. I've never seen Lisbeth angry like this. She has a firm grasp on Nor's wrist. I found his body, Nor. Did you have something to do with it? And if I did, then what? He won't be missed, that's for sure. But you won't believe me if I deny it. Even if I deny it, you've got your mind made up. Lisbeth is quiet. You notice that her gaze keeps traveling to where you stand. We will continue this later. Lisbeth's hardened look softens only for a moment when she sees you. With an acknowledging nod, she exits the quarters, leaving you standing there. You notice one of the servants, Chris, come to Nora's side. You also notice the two are looking right at you. I'll trust you'll keep quiet about this. Killed Patrick? He won't be missed. He was an embarrassment to the Old Bloods anyway. We did them a favor. I won't see it that way, Nora. You know that, don't you? Well, Chris has a point, but he probably deserved to die. I don't even know. No, they're gonna, whatever. Nora all but scoffs at your statement. Chris attempts to placate her, but it seems the damage is already done. Figures, he flashes one smile at you and it's all over. People will never understand. This isn't something I enjoy doing. You're up to something. Nora wordlessly steps to the side to reveal the contents of the table. You can't make out a lot, but you notice familiar names on the list. Members of the Old Bloods. Or what we started with Patrick, we have to finish. We have to do it, Chris. We've come too far. Wait, are they killing them? You know what? I'm gonna join the servants. Really? Do what? It's time we take matters into our own hands. And it's time we show the Old Bloods what happens when they continue to cross us. We aren't their playthings. Before we tell you anything else, we need to know. Will you help us? Will you join the servants? You know what? I kind of want to. I mean, they get shit on all the time, and they keep getting murdered. All right. It sounds dangerous, but it sounds fun. Yeah, let's do this. Welcome to the family. However, because of rules and traditions, you won't be officially initiated into our family until after the convergence. As for our plan, we're planning to catch them by surprise at that old Wart's birthday celebration. When that happens, we need you ready and on our side. It's not going to be easy. Then again, none of this ever has been. You're with us now. They share the list of names with you, all of them familiar and with one thing in common. They're members of the Old Bloods. But you've walked into, you're still not sure about. One thing is clear, however. Their plan will change the course of the convergence. If it comes to pass. Yeah, because I changed the course of the story. Alright, so I guess I'm a servant now. What's going on in the throne room? The Black Heart. The Old Bloods are in need of something, and I might be able to provide. Okay, there's that. P's magnum opus. Do I really want to know what P is up to? Only one way to find out. And then birthday preparations. No one better be trying to poison the food. Let's check out what's going on with the Old Bloods. The usually empty throne room is occupied with a handful of the Old Bloods. They're in the middle of a conversation, with Cadmos leading it. Cadmos' expression is grave, bordering on annoyed. There's an air of unease in the room. Artemis notices you first. She motions for the rest, who turns to face you collectively. I do believe our solution just walked through the door. Yes. Am I interrupting? You? Most certainly. But perhaps your interruptions can also aid us. But that is not my place to decide. He steps forward, clears his throat, and glares at you. Tell me, child, why did you come here? Spare me the games, please. We've had a rather long day, and our collective patience has worn thin. So please, do answer the question. Why did I come here? I don't know. Shrug. Are you really going to behave like this now, in this place? Do you have a death wish? A display of false bravado, nothing more. Hardly surprising. But disappointing. He motions at Woden. There is no hesitation. Within seconds, Woden has you in his grasp, restraining you. Yeah, it's true. I just go wherever I want. I just do whatever. False bravado will get you nowhere. Now, are we ready to talk? Now, let's talk. Good. Woden, at ease. Woden wordlessly obeys before stepping back to join the others. Everyone's eyes are on you. It's grown quiet now. Artemis enlightened the traitor. The Black Heart is an artifact that has been a symbol of our family for generations. Until someone stole it, that is. They did us a favor, if you ask me. Unfortunately, our search has come up empty, which is where you come in. To put it simply, we need a fresh pair of eyes. Preferably someone who's familiarized themselves with the castle and its people. Oh, you're desperate to find it if you're coming to me. The others exchange nervous looks. It should be in our hands. Find it and win my favor. I'd like to join you. Oh, so this is where we get to join. Okay, I'm guessing this is the point where we get to join the houses. Are they houses? The families? I don't know what they are. I'll keep an eye out. Return it when you find it. Woden, escort our guest out. Before you can get another word out, Woden has a strong hand on your shoulder and is gently nudging you out the door. You don't stick around to argue further as the door shuts behind you. Can I join all of them? Can I just backstab everybody? I mean, I am one of the traitors. Actually, come to think of it, my house or my role is a traitor, so I could just join everybody and betray everyone. Okay, what's down here? This is the Chris. I witnessed C sneaking off to the armory, silly boy. Why would someone even think of taking a bath now? The cleansing of sins? Should we go there? BB10, we should go to the bathhouse. Oh yeah, we should go into the bathhouse. Much like the rest of the castle itself, the bathhouse doesn't lend itself to modesty. It is, however, uncharacteristically empty. Your footsteps on the pristine tiles echo across the large room. You hear her faintly humming on the far side of the room before you spot her in the water. Isabel. Not as empty as you'd originally thought, it seems. You see her shift in the water. She knows she's not alone. Who's there? Show yourself now. Have the events of the convergence finally taken their toll on her? You can only wonder. It's me, Isabel. Oh, it's just you. A greeting, or rather a statement that sounds more like a slap in the face. Bruce is in her room, before you ask, doing whatever it is kids her age do. I came here to relax, be alone, unburdened by company. Isabel motions to the empty bathhouse with a sweeping gesture of her arm. She's made no attempt to hide her annoyance with you so far. Well, I don't have all day. Are you here to join me or just gawk? What's got you on edge? Isabel narrows her eyes at you. if looks could kill. But then, oddly, she turns her back to you before finally speaking. Am I that easy to read now? I suppose the events of late have made me so. They've taken a toll on me, have me questioning my role in all this. Or rather, my safety. How much longer before I stray into a trap of someone's making? Or my body is found in a ditch. The mere thought of it makes Isabel shudder visibly. Tell me something. If given the chance, would you walk out and leave all this behind? Would I? No, I'm too deep into this. I'm in too deep. No, I can't. You become one of us then, no matter how much you claim otherwise. Even with your unique bloodline. I don't think I could. I can't leave this life behind me, not when I've tried so hard to build it. Do you think I can just walk away? Who from the artists will carry on our legacy? Ronaldo's all but disappeared. I haven't even seen him since the ceremony. I bet he's dead. I can't just leave the family to their devices. I am responsible for them all, for them after all. And if you stay, then I suppose I live out every moment watching my back. Well, until someone stabs me, that is. Are you ready to die? Well, I respect your honesty. Yes. I know when I am outmatched. And I know when I'm staring my would-be murderer in the face, too. I'm not going to kill you. Yet. I see you toying with me. If you won't kill me now, perhaps sometime later. Or maybe I'll kill you first. I'll wait until you have your clothes on, however. This isn't what I wanted. Of course not. You came here to have a nice soothing bath. Isabel shakes her head and laughs at the situation that this has become. But then the gravity of it all finally hits her and she stills, if only for a moment. Perhaps this wasn't my time. Sorry about this. Wait! Am I about to murder her? I have my clothes on. I don't know. I have a choice. I say I'm sorry about this. Does that mean I'm gonna murder her? I mean... Oh my god, I don't know. Why are you guys all convinced I'm dying? You know, fine, I'm just gonna have to start killing people then. Indeed. Isabel's expression changes, and an unspoken understanding floats between the two of you. She doesn't say much. No thank you or words of gratitude cross her lips. She merely nods at you before turning her back to you as you exit the bathhouse. Okay, so I didn't murder her. But the next time I get to murder somebody, I'm gonna murder them. For you guys, for chat, for BB10. I just gotta have to do it. Alright, so C is the Great Hall. A night of indulgence. The evening of Cadmos' birthday is at hand. When you approach your destination, you're accompanied by a slight breeze guiding your every step towards the Great Hall. The closer you come, the heavier the drone of excitement reverberates through your bones. It seems the Great Hall has had a complete makeover. A rather drab one at that. From the gray metallic balloons to the neutral garlands, there's nothing remotely festive about the whole affair. As they stand around the tables, their dress draws more attention and awe than the decorations surrounding them could ever hope to. As you walk deeper into the hall, you are greeted by a kaleidoscope of figures, some of whom you think you recognize from TV or your favorite websites. Cadmos, in whatever sense, appears to be an important man, and the family is larger and more entwined with society than you could ever have guessed. Let's look at the gifts. The gifts are meticulously stacked according to their sizes, both medium and large. The wrapping paper is just as visually drab as the decor itself. You lose count after the 25th gift. Most of the guests barely grant you a look, and many of the ones you know are already deep in conversation with others. However, 4 people do stand out. Artemis and Roos are each at their own individual table. Lisbeth is observing her staff carefully, and one woman is looking very intently at anyone new entering the hall. Let's go talk to Lisbeth. I mean, I am a servant now, right? And we do have plans on killing the old blood. Can I help you? Well, how are you? I've honestly had better convergence experiences. Ava's death has been predictable, but nonetheless tragic. Predictable? Every convergence, the servants are the first to be killed. That's just the way of things. At least Dorte is there. At least there's still Dorte. I don't even dare to think of what could happen to her. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, but it is what it is. Let's discuss something else. Very well. Thanks again for the tour. You're very welcome. It is one of my duties, after all. This is the worst week ever. I understand that. Everyone hates me. They don't hate you. They fear you. They remember what Eve was like. The sad truth is that the convergence has never been kind to those who walk away. But we're a part of this whole thing. Hey, Trevor! As a matter of fact, you and your lineage hold a very important place among the families. But people forget our ways and corruptions. Wait. People forget our ways and corruption lies looming. Some of these lines are hard to get out. It is a murder VN. I'm gonna kill somebody soon. No kissings. Although I mentioned kissing at one point and everybody freaked the fuck out, so I can't mention kissing anymore. Even though, what's his name? Ronaldo? He seems okay. Except for the mustache. I don't get why we're treated this way. Shit, I don't know what this is. I better answer. Oh, I don't know if I should answer. I better answer. Let me answer. Never mind. When I answer the phone and somebody doesn't answer right away, I hang up. No, it's not. Thank goodness. Because, as the old bloods often like to state, people forget their place. If I look at my situation, to serve is not to be inferior. To serve is the greatest gift you could provide. And for you, to run away is not an inferior choice. To flee from something so overwhelming, so encompassing, you'd perhaps be mad not to. Treason, after all, is in the eye of the beholder. Servants are treated with disdain, too. That, too, hasn't escaped my notice. It's just something we need to put up with. A servant favorite might fix it. That would be the day. But Cadmos hasn't forgiven your grandmother either, that she snapped victory away from the jaws of the old bloods. Or at least, that's his interpretation. He'd never agree to a servant taking over after her. Well, explain to me the dynamics. The servant branch once started as a means for freedom. Understand that many of us had ancestors forced into serfdom, indentured, enslaved. The patron provided our forebears the means to escape absolutely grueling conditions. Was their only means to escape? Back then, yes. But even now we save people from the brink of despair. While the lords have changed, the function of chains remains the same. And as such, all those who serve in desperation should still find elevation among us. But I want you to understand the family started with mutual respect, with the understanding we need each other as much as we need ourselves. Listen, to truly understand the dynamics between the contestants, the families, and the history of our customs, I will have to tell you the truth about your mother. My mother? Your mother, yes. If we want to speak of her, we'll have to leave for somewhere else. The subject matter is sensitive, to say the least. It would mean you'd miss out on the festivities here, and you'd anger Cadmus. Well, Cadmus will be angry anyway. Very well, follow me. While the festivities are in full bloom, Lisbeth takes you outside through one of the many doors of the Great Hall. As she leads you further down the corridors, the cacophony of voices slowly fade from earshot and your mind. The both of you traverse the castle in silence, but with every step, it feels like you're getting closer to something sinister. Eventually, it becomes clear what the goal of your journey is. As Lisbeth leads you through two massive doors, the scent of old books and waxed woodwork hits you unexpectedly hard. I'm gonna piss everybody off and be like, why would I do? Probably. Probably. But I gotta find out about my mom. Lisbeth stops at one of the display cases. Inside the case is an old book with a frayed hard leather cover, opened up to display a page filled with neat but entirely illegible handwriting. I realize that for you, to properly understand your family, I should speak of your lineage. How much do you know already? No one likes us. We're the biggest danger. Apparently we walked away. To many you certainly are. Your lineage is a special one. It didn't always exist. Sometimes it never does. And when it does not, it will make itself exist. They can kill us, but not the idea. That is exactly it. As we speak, there are hundreds of you out there, unaware of what their ancestors walked away from. And every generation more walk away to forget. Hundreds. You are not alone in your fate, no. So you can understand that some here believe the mere existence of your lineage is an affront to their position and the patron. And to assure that not more leave, your lineage is deliberately culled as soon as you grow too dangerous. Fuck. Will they kill us? They exterminate you, or at least, they attempt to. The page you see before you is a declaration, a promise that all those who betray the patron can never truly leave. And that is the truth behind your family. Well, how does my mother fit in here? Mostly through your grandmother, but understanding why you are special. You'll understand why your direct lineage is special. It has been centuries ever since your lineage could bring forth multiple generations before being removed from existence. And your grandmother, with her ingenuity and insight, made that happen. She was extraordinary beyond measure, but she was also a deeply cruel and vicious woman. Trevor's fallen asleep. Sorry, I just wanted some exposition. And my handwriting is not illegible. Come, follow me. For the following I should never speak of without her knowing. She leads you away from the library without another word. Soon enough you get to corridors very familiar to you, and the place she leads you is a place you'd have preferred never to be in again. For it is the chapel she takes you to. As you stand there, you witness once more Eve staring down at you, her dress still stained with old corpse blood. Elizabeth observes Eve with a certain reverence. I told you earlier that the killer of your father was here. I might have twisted the truth a little. Better be a good twist. I'm just gonna say nothing. I had warned you. You couldn't trust me. But let me explain my reasoning. I will tell you the truth. But had I told you the truth before, you could have left before the convergence. And you might understand now how I could not have risked that. Alright, well, explain yourself. Before I start, you must understand this. Your mother was always there for you. Don't ever, ever forget that. Now listen. When Mathilde became Eve, not everyone was happy. Your father in particular was horrified with what his mother had become in order to win. He naively wanted to spare you the same fate. He prepared himself during the 5 days of the convergence. He arranged new IDs, hotels, and hideouts. He had left nothing up to chance. And during Eve's coronation, when everyone had gathered here in praise of the new favorite, he forced you to go with him. He stole one of the cars from the staff and left, onto a new life far, far away from us. He had prepared everything, taking everything into account, or so he thought. Your father died that night in a car crash. That was never a lie, but it was not an accident. Alright, I gotta keep listening. Your mother told me she was surprised at how agitated your father was. Surprised because once her mother-in-law would become the Eve, everything would change for them, for the better. Your mother, you see, was raised in poverty of love and wealth. She never quite understood why she'd been wooed by your father, not until the wedding. She saw what the families could provide and believed you'd always be safe. She never wanted her childhood to be yours. Your father's agitation became noticeable to other people. People like Diana, Cadmos, and myself. It was Cadmos who then spoke to your mother. He demanded of her to talk to some sense into your father, or else he'd take everything from her, including you. There was never one person responsible for the death of your father, you understand. But it was your mother who drove after him. She who forced him off the road and caused him to crash into the tree that became his undoing. My mother killed him. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Sometimes no words are enough. Needless to say, Eve was unhappy with your mother's actions. In punishment, she exiled your mother from our families, but with 2 caveats. Whenever Eve wanted to see you, your mother was required to bring you. And 2, your mother was made to remember everything. Every action, every thought, every murder. The curse of your lineage would have been a gift otherwise. If your mother would not bring you home every now and then, Eve would make sure your mother's life would be a living hell. What about my mother's death? I thought it was suspicious too, so I did my own investigation. Ironically, by all appearances, it was an accident. A genuine accident? I know you'd prefer to have more closure and more answers, but this is all I can provide to you. I need time to think. Of course. Lisbeth leaves you behind. The corpse still stares down at you, her gaze piercing into your soul, like no living being has before. Dang! Dang! Okay. So yeah, this is getting more and more twisted. Just like Trevor's twisted tea. I wish I had twisted tea right now. But if I had booze right now, I wouldn't be able to enunciate, and I need to be able to read. Alright. You waddle into the bedroom, your head spinning with the impressions of another day survived. Only barely do you remember to lock the door behind you, ready to pass out for another night. But as you lay there waiting for dreams to take you afar, something in the back of your mind feels strange, as if something else should have happened. That's for a different life and a different journey. Would you not agree? I will continue on. Rest well, for another day of convergence shall come. Once the darkness becomes too much to overcome, you drift away into the void. Oh boy. This time your night is spent with your grandmother. In your dreams, she keeps switching faces from friendly to angry to happy to dead. Your conversations are confusing and messy. You keep asking her for advice, but everything she tells you is muddled. Through the disjointed strands of sentences, you do find one sentiment echoed. Satisfaction. Suddenly, a series of knocks on your door wakes you up. But instead of being greeted by friendly staff members, they lift you from your bed and draw a pillowcase over your head. You're forced to walk down the stairs, and a long route to wherever. Once the pillowcase is removed, you find yourself back in the Great Hall. But rather than an angry Cadmos, you're surrounded by armed members of staff, and you see the other contestants being kept in small groups. You don't remember it ever happening to you before, but if you'd have to take a guess, it appears you've all been taken hostage. To the best of your guesses, that birthday did not end the way it should have. Regardless of their current venture, the members of staff come and offer you some coffee and a plate of exquisite pastries. And the back of your head whispers a warning, but your appetite is too great to pay heed. The others are enjoying the same food, and you can make out a discussion held in hushed voices. But the only thing that truly matters is what you want to do about the situation. I want the service to succeed. And perhaps you shall. Barely an hour passes before all of you are being grouped together. Chris, one of the servants, climbs atop one of the tables, though with the way he moves and speaks, it might as well be a stage. Good morning, everyone. We hope you've all had a rejuvenating sleep and a very pleasant breakfast. By our planning, today might be a little more boring than you might expect from the 4th day of the convergence. However, we'll of course do our best to assure you, our esteemed guests and family members, will have the utmost unforgettable stay. Now, for some necessary measures. A group of servants approach the old bloods among you again and move them away from the rest of your group. They leave you largely alone. Chris and Rayan are having a subdued conversation, but what you can make out is that Rayan is trying to cut some sort of deal. You spot Ava. Considering the amount of armed members of staff around her, she doesn't seem to be taking any chances. She also stays a good distance away from Artemis, despite the old blood's obvious attempts to catch her eye. Meanwhile, the artists are arguing amongst each other, but you can't make out about what. P takes out a pocket watch and checks it. You're right, Ava should be dead. Briefly, she looks bemused at the thing. A loud explosion erupts from just outside the courtyard, completely throwing off everyone's attention. There it is! As she says this, the whole room erupts into chaos. To your left, you see how the servants are yelling to keep the old bloods under control. At the same time, Theodora walks up to Chris at a brisk pace. Warn Chris. With all your might, yell out a warning to Chris. He immediately acts on your warning and just barely dodges Theodora's knife. Okay, shit. What am I gonna do now? I may die! Aid Chris? I'm gonna aid him. Almost on all fours, you rush forward to tackle Theodora. But before you can get to her, she throws her arm out around Chris's neck in a chokehold and points the dagger at it. No killing bystanders. It's all in self-defense. You'll be disqualified. Damn it. I'll take you instead. She throws Chris in your direction, thereby throwing you off your feet. Then she plunges right on top of you, knife head on. You feel a sharp, never-ending pain in your side as something is making its way into you. Everything in your body is panicking. You hear yelling around you, a gunshot, then another cry. Meanwhile, many hands cover you. Your name is being yelled out, but all you can really hear is the screaming of your own body. You black out. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on a stretcher in the kitchen. I saw that already. Your wounds have been well taken care of. From the light of the kitchen, you can make out it's morning time again. What happened? Theodora rushed and stabbed you. Dorte was shortly after declared a winner. Wait. What's it? What? So it's too late to change it? Dorte has the support of at least 3 elders. Elizabeth, of course, Diana, because she was both amused and impressed, and Floris, because we let him off the hook when everything went down. God damn it, Floris. Actually, good on you all. Yeah. I can't believe it's almost over. So now what? I came to check on you and get you ready. Coronation is happening soon. She gets you an assortment of foods. While you eat, she carefully inspects your wounds and replaces your bandages where needed. So I think Dorte actually is becoming the new Eve. That's what it sounds like. The servants have won. It becomes clear to you that Nora is too tired to talk to you. Whatever happened in the morning, or even during the day, has taken a toll on her as well. Here you are now, waiting for the coronation to take place. Is this how you had envisioned it? Ah, shit. I'm gonna see this. I want to see this to the end. Yeah, what happened to Ronaldo? I'm kind of bummed. I like that guy. Commitment. That's what I'd like to see. Soon after this, Nora takes you to the chapel. Behold, the coronation is at hand. A day and more have passed. Like a well-oiled machine, the servants take you and the other contestants to the chapel. The high priest climbs the stage and proceeds to beckon the candidates. Dorte breaks away from your group and walks towards the stage. She curtsies before Eve. Then she turns to the crowd. Oh, wow, I didn't expect this to happen. I just wanted to survive, but perhaps this was meant to be. I feel honored, and I feel vindicated. I know that many of you believe that someone like me, who I am, what I am, should never rule. I know that I can never truly convince you that not only am I your equal, but I've also proven to be better than you. I'm not going to wait for you to change your mind. Instead, I will build the foundations so that those after me shall ever enjoy respect. You shall become irrelevant. From the first day of my reign, equality between the families shall be restored. Let us once more represent the core tenets of humanity. She turns away from the crowd and looks up at Eve. Truton, I'm ready for your gift. She walks over to Eve's body and lays her hands on the corpse's cheeks. Her forehead touches Eve's, and Dorte closes her eyes in concentration. You see her face grimace and her eyebrows furrow in struggle. Suddenly, she yells out and takes a few steps from the body. Is this what true power feels like? No wonder none of you would ever give it up. And yet you accomplished nothing. Well, hello there. You've come to the end of your path, but it appears there was no win for you this time. Did you mean to lose? Okay. What do you care? Why would I not care about you, my most fascinating of candidates? But suffice to say that while I am happy with your new favorite, I think this might feel unsatisfactory for you. Well, what happened to the families? Under Dorte's reign, the respect for the different branches was restored in full and strengthened to live throughout whatever the future had in store. But in order to obtain them and maintain her ideal structure, she had to awaken a part of herself she had vowed she'd never tolerate. To be inhumane is to become inhuman. On a lonely throne she sits, satisfied with what she brought into the world, grieving for the herself whose future she smothered. And that is what this reality came to be. What did you mean, my favorite? Ah, did I slip up and say that? I suppose I did. I'm confused. That I understand. And in turn, you should understand that this is not the end. If you please, once you've returned to the very start again and again. You might discover remember things. The more you try, the more you'll understand this world and its people, and the more you'll force the world to abide to your will. That is what you really want, correct? For now, good luck, and see you soon. Well, for we both know you can never truly leave. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic.